Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I'm here with Philip Duffy, the tour director of our CIE tour of Ireland, starting with Adare, where we are now. And we're going to talk about the day tripper, which is the ability of your guests to unpack once, like on a cruise, but you're in Ireland and you're going from Adare out to many, many wonderful stops. We're going to talk about them all here on Insider Travel Report. Philip, thank you for talking to us.
You're very welcome, and you're very welcome to Ireland.
Thank you. But you've been talking for a week. I'm surprised you have anything left. So please treat us to some more of what you did this week, which was phenomenal. First of all, I want you all to know he takes this gigantic bus. It's very comfortable for not a lot of people, so it's a pretty empty bus, and moves it through the thinnest, narrowest country roads. It was just remarkable. So kudos to you. Plus, he's a great storyteller, and he made Ireland come to life. So I just wanted to embarrass you in front of everybody before we even begin.
Thank you.
Okay. But now let's talk about the CIE, the Day Tripper, and how your bus company is involved.
Well, we started this tour a number of years ago after COVID, when people didn't want to be in and out of different hotels, and they liked the idea of coming and being based in one spot. CIE picked probably one of the best hotels in the country, definitely one of the oldest, here in the village of Adare.
The name is the Dunraven.
The Dunraven Arms, yeah, the Dunraven Arms Hotel. Beautiful hotel, but it has that touch of old world beauty about it, so people are very, very comfortable when they come. Most people that have looked it up on the internet before they actually get here, so they're actually very excited by the time they get here to see the hotel and the grounds and how it's run.
Yeah. If you look at another video on Insider Travel Report, we interviewed the proprietor of the Dunraven, and you could see more about the hotel there. But they've taken great care of us. They fed us, and we felt very, very well hosted.
Yeah, most of the people will come through Shannon Airport as well, which is only 35 minutes away, so the transfer from the airport is in. There's a couple of transfers on Sunday. And as soon as they come in, the hotel will do their best to give them rooms as early as possible. And then at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we come together to do a walking tour of the village with a local historian, James Kavanagh. And James gives them a very good insight into the history of this little village, into the Trinitarian Abbey and the Augustinian Abbey, and what life was like really maybe in the time of their grandparents and parents, when the village was much quieter than it is today. Yeah. Well, at the welcome dinner that we do the first night on the tour of a Sunday night, we do introductions in the hotel, so we get everyone to tell us where they're from and what Irish ancestors they have. And you'll be amazed at how proud they are when they start talking about their ancestors, because in many ways they're coming home and they have this feeling that they belong here in Ireland, and that feeling will come through. We'll try and bring that through in the tour and make them feel as if they're part of Ireland, and Ireland will get inside you, so it will.
But I can say, as someone who has no Irish blood, it still happened.
Well, we did our best to find you some, so we did.
Yeah. I had a transfusion.
Yeah, it's called Guinness.
Yeah. Right, so let's talk about right away. Kabam! Everything was within 2 hours drive. We went to the Cliffs of Moher.
Yes, we went up to the Cliffs of Moher in County Clare. They are very, very spectacular. Like, you have a drop of 600 feet into the Atlantic Ocean. The scenery up there in County Clare, the Burren, the landscape of the Burren is just very, very unique. Most people would never have seen anything like that before. And an opportunity actually to get out and walk on the limestone as well. But I suppose the Cliffs of Moher is breathtaking, really are breathtaking.
As you'll see as this unfolds, how you absolutely have a great variety. You really feel like you get to know the destination, and I guess that's the point of the day trip.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's all about mingling with the people that live in the county of Clare when we do that day trip, and you see the passion that the people have for the area they live in. because that's a very unique landscape. So it is. It's a protected landscape, and it'll be there for thousands of years after we are gone.
And the proof of their passion is then we met a family that did a sheepdog demonstration. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, we went to the sheepdog in Caherconnell. That's quite amazing. This is what we call agro-tourism. It's when somebody comes up with an idea of bringing a small business into the local community. And the people in Caherconnell, it's a family-run business. Father John started it off, so it is Sean, his son, now runs it. And they have brought in a cafe shop into it. They brought in a small store into it. They're employing about 20 people there, and that's really, really good employment, as well as watching the dogs, the amazing work that the dogs do, you know. Yeah. I just wish I could have trained my children as good as they train the dogs, you know.
And also look for another video on Inside Travel Report just about those dogs and that family. That was the end of that day.
It was, yeah. Now we came back to the hotel and we had our first dinner in the hotel. Then on the Monday evening, everyone came down to the bar, got a drink, started to mingle, and people started to become very relaxed with each other's company. So now we're building the footwork of a very successful week.
The next day, we got to do something I wouldn't have done if I came on my own. I wouldn't have even thought hey, let's just take a train.
Yeah, we took a train. We took the bus, first of all, or the coach over to Cork City. And in the city, then we put everybody onto a train that brought them down to the port where their ancestors left from, the port of Cove. For them, you know, to travel down on the train is an experience, first of all. Absolutely. And then when we got into Cove, they did a walking tour of the town with a local historian again that filled them with information, not just about immigration and heading for America, but also other aspects of the town. It was the last port of call for the Titanic. It was where the victims of the Lusitania were taken after it was sunk. We've seen the Irish Naval Base across the way. You know, there's an awful lot of history in Cove.
And then we drove to where people get the gift of gab.
Oh yeah, we went to Blarney. Well, Blarney is one of these places that's on your bucket list that a lot of American visitors like to visit. Absolutely. You know, it's on your bucket list, and here we have an opportunity to visit Blarney Castle, the home of the McCarthys. They'll climb the stairs and they'll kiss the stone, but there's more in Blarney than just the Blarney Stone. There's 60 acres of gardens that surrounds the castle. And here we have probably the only poison garden in Ireland, you know, which is quite amazing to see stuff like that. And even though they all enjoy going up to kiss the stone, they also equally enjoy the gardens.
Absolutely. I did not know that rhubarb, not the rhubarb pie that we eat, but the leaves are poisoned. That was one of the ones in there.
Oh yeah, the gunnera. The gunnera, which is part of it's native to Brazil actually, so it is. But it's a poison rubber. If you eat it, you only eat it once.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to another day. So that was another jam-packed day. Then we went to Dingle.
Well, Dingle is the highlight of this tour as far as scenery is concerned. We have incredible scenery overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Dingle is on what's known as the Wild Atlantic Way. Probably the most scenic part of that whole drive of the Wild Atlantic Way is the Dingle Peninsula. It has got breathtaking scenery. From the moment that we leave Dingle to go out around Slayhead, see the Stone Age ring fort, see the beehive huts, meet the local people out there and stuff like that. It is just, on a good day, it's no place better.
And on that day, CIE actually hosted a lunch.
Yeah, some of the days, if we don't have a dinner in the hotel, we will host a lunch for the group. And for this lunch, we brought them to Paul Gainey's pub in Dingle. Now, the Gainey family is steeped in Gaelic football, the traditional Irish game. And it's good to get into that pub and meet the captain of the Kerry team, young Paul, inside working behind the bar and serving food. Excellent fish and chips.
I have to admit, I was going to say, the fish and chips melted in your mouth.
Yeah, the fish is moving on the plate when you get it.
And then we walked around the town and you guys raved about Murphy's Ice Cream, so I made sure to go.
Yeah, Murphy's Ice Cream is very famous, especially down in the south. You know, there's a number of stores all over the country selling Murphy's. And then we have a very famous dolphin in Dingle called Fungi the Dolphin. So people go on, they get their picture taken with Fungi and the big brass statue of him, and then walk out and see the fishing boats and talk to the fishermen and stuff. That's also nice to do.
Then you took me someplace I was embarrassed because I've been on the luxury route to to Antarctica, but we went to a pub that actually we heard the story of what it was like when they first were going.
Yeah, we stopped in. We treat everyone to an Irish coffee or a Bailey's coffee on the way home. And for that, we went to a pub called the South Pole Inn. And the South Pole Inn is all about Tom Crean, the great Arctic explorer. And Gary, the guy that owns the pub, he gives a very, very interesting chat on the history of Tom Crean. And he really brings it to life, so he does, what they went through on their adventures to the South Pole.
It was a great performance, frankly, I have to say. And then that's that day. So you get the idea of how jam-packed this is. And yet it isn't tiring. Every morning we got up, we had breakfast, and then this very comfortable tour bus took us. So I just want to make that clear, even though it sounds hectic. Next day, Ring of Kerry.
Well, the Ring of Kerry is 110 miles, but what we do on that day is we bring everyone down to Killarney and we visit one of CIE partners, which is the Moriarty business in Killarney. It is probably one of the number one Irish stores in the country. And people get an opportunity to have a look at top range Irish goods in the form of clothing and so on, and jewellery and so on. And they get a little bit of retail therapy time there, you know. After that, then we head across to the town of Kenmare. We go out on the ring. We head across to the town of Kenmare. Beautiful town, Kenmare. And we stop there for lunch, where there's any amount of places that people can stop. After lunch, then we will head up into the mountains, up right into the top of the McGillicuddy Reek Mountains, and we'll drop down then by the lakes of Killarney, stopping off on several occasions as we go for pictures. And we'll arrive down into the town of Killarney then. Now we have another surprise for them.
And it was really not something, again, I would have chosen for myself, and I'm so glad you guys brought us there and made us go, because it was a pleasure.
Yeah, at this point now we're going to put everybody onto the horse-drawn carriage. A lot of people would have watched the most popular movie in Ireland, The Quiet Man, and in The Quiet Man you see this carriage ride. So now we're going to put everybody onto the carriages, and the Jarvies, who are the drivers of the horses, will take the people through the national park for just over an hour. And they'll tell them stories, and they'll see the Irish red deer and all that kind of stuff, and they'll end up down at Ross Castle, and we pick them up there. We bring them back into Killarney. We give them a little bit of free time in Killarney. We don't have a whole pile that evening, but maybe an hour and a half of free time, and we take them back into Adare for our farewell dinner.
And all of this, I just want you to know, they planned it so that you're never away from the bathroom for more than 2 hours. You're always thinking about us, and we were always feeling comforted.
Oh, yeah, well, that's, you know, you never pass the bathroom.
You never pass an opportunity.
Never pass an opportunity, you know.
So now we're up to date. This is what we did today. We're having a big dinner tonight. We're going to have, is it roast beef cut on?
Yeah, well, joint to roast beef, as well as many other things on the menu, you know. But here again, it's a chance for people to taste grass-fed beef, you know, which is very unique to this country. And the part of Limerick that we're in at the moment is very famous for its beef. So we're going to treat everyone to beef and other things tonight.
Right. But the trip's not over. Let's tell them about what we're going to be doing tomorrow.
Tomorrow now we're going to move house. We're going to leave the village of Adare and we're heading on to Dublin. It's a 3-hour drive up to Dublin, so it is. But we'll break en route and we'll have coffee and stuff. And we'll arrive into a very, very famous pub in Dublin called Taylor's Tree Rock. This is a big cabaret venue in Dublin, but during the day they host lunches and stuff, and CIE has organised a lunch for the group in this building, and they are also going to provide music that will come in and play for the group over lunch. After that, then we're going to do some city sightseeing around the city, and we're going to check into our luxury hotel in Dublin, the Loft.
And we're doing the hop-on, hop-off tours?
Yeah. Everybody now has vouchers for the hop-on, hop-off bus. They also have vouchers to visit a number of different places in Dublin, like the Guinness Hop Store, the Epic Centre, which is all about Irish immigration and the Irish diaspora. They can visit the GPO Museum, where the 1960 Proclamation of Independence was read from. So there's lots of things they can do. They can even go to Teeling's Whiskey, which is next door to the hotel.
Oh, yes, the day tripper was basically from Adare, but we all got to go to the airport, and why not visit Dublin?
Well, it's a chance to see the capital city, and of course everyone has heard about Dublin, a lot of people want to visit Guinness when they get to Dublin, you know, because it is the most popular tourist attraction in the city. And that and Trinity College and see the Book of Kells. Right. And this is an opportunity for them to do that before they fly home.
Okay. Now, I have to tell you, we loved your stories. I didn't expect to be tearing up on the bus, but I did, and my wife as well. It was really a wonderful trip, and I want you to be able to show your guests more about it. So let's give a URL for you guys. You should go to www.cietours.com and find out more about the day tripper trips. Well, anything else you want to tell our 127,000 travel advisors who want to know more about that?
Well, all I can tell you is if you look up CIE and look at the testimonials that has been wrote in about this tour, that on its own will be enough for you and to encourage you to come. And we'll be delighted to have you and give you the same experience as we give every tour.
That's great. Thank you for talking.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.